Most men don't change after 30 because they fail. They change because something feels off. Nothing is technically wrong, but nothing feels right either. You wake up. You go to work. You handle your responsibilities. On paper, you're fine, but internally, there's a quiet dissatisfaction, not dramatic, not loud, just persistent. And that's the part no one talks about, because it doesn't look like crisis, it looks like stability. After 30, something shifts psychologically. In your 20s, life feels open. Infinite directions, infinite identities, infinite potential. You're chasing something. Status, money, women, respect, experience. You're moving. But around 30, movement slows. You're no longer becoming someone. You are someone. And that's when dissatisfaction begins. Because now the question changes. It's no longer, what could I be? It becomes, is this it? That question is dangerous. Most men don't fall apart. They numb out, they distract, they double down on comfort. More entertainment, more scrolling, more routine. But routine without meaning feels heavy. The body knows before the mind does. You feel restless, agitated, unfocused. You can't explain it, but something inside you wants pressure. This is the part that confuses people. Because discomfort starts to feel attractive. Not chaos, not destruction, pressure. Pressure reminds you that you're alive. It sharpens you. It demands attention. It gives you edges again. Without pressure, men soften psychologically. Not physically, internally. Decisions become slower. Risk becomes scarier. Ambition becomes negotiable. Comfort becomes the default. And comfort is subtle. It doesn't destroy you quickly. It erodes you slowly. The dissatisfaction after 30 is not failure. It's awareness. You're no longer distracted by possibility. You're confronting reality. You see your patterns clearly. You see your limitations clearly. You see the version of yourself you settled into. And that's when two paths appear. One is retreat. Accept it. Shrink. Tell yourself this is maturity. The other is reinvention. But reinvention requires friction. This is why some men suddenly start training harder. Changing careers, ending relationships, taking risks, or choosing experiences that test them. Not because they're reckless, because they're tired of feeling dull. Dullness is worse than pain. Pain at least feels honest. Some men find this friction in business, some in competition, some in extreme physical challenges, some through voluntary discomfort. The common thread is simple. They want to feel sharp again. When dissatisfaction builds long enough, men look for intensity, not to impress anyone, to wake themselves up. Intensity brings clarity. When something is hard, you can't drift. You must focus. And focus feels better than drifting. This is why controlled discomfort becomes appealing. Cold showers, hard training, long hours, skill building. Even something like sitting for hours while your skin burns under a needle. Not because pain is enjoyable, but because it demands presence. Presence is rare in comfortable lives. After 30, men realize something. No one is coming to push them. No one is designing their edge. If they want pressure, they have to choose it. And chosen discomfort changes you differently than accidental suffering. Accidental suffering makes you reactive. Chosen discomfort makes you deliberate. That's the psychological shift. You stop waiting for life to test you. You test yourself. The dissatisfaction was never the problem. It was the signal, a signal that you've outgrown your current level of intensity. Some ignore it. Some suppress it. Some medicate it with distraction. And some listen. Listening requires honesty. You have to admit that stability isn't enough. That safety isn't satisfying. That comfort doesn't build identity. After 30, men don't necessarily need more success. They need more friction. Because friction reminds you that you're capable, that you can endure, that you can commit. Without it, you drift into a life that looks fine but feels unfinished. Internal dissatisfaction is not weakness. It's a demand. A demand for alignment. A demand for growth. A demand for voluntary challenge. A demand for voluntary challenge. The men who respond to it don't always make loud changes. Sometimes it's subtle. Stronger boundaries, more discipline, less tolerance for mediocrity, more ownership. But the shift is real. You can see it in their eyes. They're sharper, quieter, more deliberate. After 30, men don't change because they collapse. They change because they refuse to feel numb. If you're feeling that dissatisfaction right now, it's not a crisis. It's a crossroads. You can anesthetize it, or you can use it. The choice is quiet, but the consequences are not. After 30, comfort feels different. So does courage. The question isn't whether you'll change, it's whether you'll choose how.